Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would have been 95 years old this year. What would he think of the world and how it's changed? Well, it's a question we can either all ponder or we could remind ourselves of the timeless wisdom he left behind. Let's welcome Malika Pryor, Chief Learning and Engagement Officer for the International African American Museum. We're so grateful to have you here with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And MLK Day, it's a wonderful opportunity to remember his teachings. And I think what's unique about this particular year is that it actually falls on his birthday.
Isn't that lovely?
That is great. So going back to my initial question, what do you think he would think of the world in which we're living today?
My, troubling times, uncertain times. However, they defined his time as well. And what we know from his action was that he was a man of vision. He was a man that spoke to the moment. He continued to evolve as a leader, as a philosopher, as a human being. And he also never stopped having faith and hope in the capacity of all of us as a shared humanity to do the next best thing. That notion of the arc of justice being long and leaning towards just that is so significant, it's so important. And I think that that's something that we can take from many of his messages, that there's still opportunity, that all is not lost. We have seen uncertain times before.
That's right.
And there's always an opportunity as long as we're willing to do that next best thing.
So for us and our neighbors here in the Low Country, you know, starting with our own backyards, how should we go about to really honor that legacy and to do good in this world, to put good back into it?
I think educating ourselves is so incredibly important. There's so much disinformation available in the world now. There's so much misinformation. And we know that algorithms are designed in this day and age to further concretize and encourage the thing that we've already begun to think, right? So we're being siloed, we're being closed in even by the very technology on which we depend. One of the opportunities that we have is to break out of our silo, reconsider a question that maybe we feel like we've answered. Because what we know, being in the business of history at the International African American Museum, is that there are histories. So offering ourselves up to the possibility that there can be multiple experiences even in the same moment, I think is a great opportunity. And it's something that you don't have to necessarily share, you don't have to publicize, there's no shame or embarrassment. I think sometimes that's a lot of it in terms of thinking about just sort of reaching out even just a little bit and considering another perspective or another idea. It's this notion that maybe that we're supposed to somehow know.
Yes, exactly.
What if I'm judged?
Right.
What if I'm criticized?
But what I always, you always remember his famous words, and that is to judge someone by the content of their character. And I just think to remind ourselves each year and to start the year off that way is so crucial. And I know that the International African American Museum here is doing that to help honor and celebrate that legacy. So are there any opportunities for people to come and to just sort of immerse themselves?
So there's lots of information, and that is available every day that we're open. However, on MLK Day, we'll be open free to the public from 12 to 5, and there will be programming in our West Yard. So given that it is his actual birthday, we're sort of treating it like a more open celebration with 2 choirs performing. There will be vendors. Our Young Griots program, which is usually inside the museum, is going to be brought outside so we can accommodate more youth and families, where they'll have the opportunity to sort of share their vision of the future. So to that idea of what Dr. King would think, he was really depending on us.
Yes, absolutely, yes, because we carried the torch.
That's right.
We pass it to each and every generation. This is happening Sunday, January 15th, again, noon to 5. Make sure that you check it out. Malika, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
We're back after this.